Ho, 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 everybody. Welcome to another day of our 12 days of Christmas movies here on Zoobox. I'm Shaun, as always, your faithful, intrepid host. Always here to talk about the stuff, and today we're going to be talking about something, definitely a Christmas movie. Today we're going to be talking about 1996's Jingle All the Way. The film was directed by Brian Levant, written by Randy Kornfield. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, Rita Wilson, Robert Conrad, Martin Mull, Jake Lloyd, Jim Belushi, and others. The logline plot synopsis is: a father vows to get his son a Turbo Man action figure for Christmas. However, every store is sold out of them, and he must travel all over town and compete with everybody else in order to find one. Oh, yeah. What a magical movie. Have you ever seen Jingle All the Way? You know, years and years and years ago. Well, when was this? 2 years ago. I wrote like a little mini review of Jingle All the Way. And I think it's a great way to start our discussion. About Jingle All the Way. Okay? Let's go. So let's check it out. It was on my letterbox. I used to update this religiously. I don't so much anymore because now I just make videos. Because I'm all about posterity. You know? I like to make a record of the things I do. It makes me feel like not such a lazy piece of shit if I record a video or if I write something. But I wrote a little short one. A little short review here. My review is: it's the lack of self-awareness that makes Jingle All the Way great. It's a mean-spirited ode to commercialism, wherein a son withholds love from his father until he literally becomes the material object of his desire. Just warms the old black heart. I watch this incredulously every year. Which is true. I do watch it every year. Oh, everybody in my family gets so excited. They're like, is tonight the night? Is it Jingle All the Way night? Ooh, buddy. We love Jingle All the Way in this house. And I won't hear any bad words said about it. Actually, I think my little review pretty much sums it up. Like, I don't really get into ironically watching movies. But if I do, this one comes close. But it is such a bizarre movie. It's so unmodulated. It's so mean-spirited. It's so not self-aware of what it's doing, of how kind of gross it is. It is a celebration of this weird commercialism, and you know, like if you want it to be charitable, you could be like, well, you know, it's about fathers trying to live up to their potential with their children. It's about you know, showing yourself as kind of this ultimate provider, because there's this kind of sense that if you can't provide, you can't even get your kid a Turbo Man doll. What kind of father are you? And you see the two ends of the spectrum. You see Sinbad as the mailman. You see Arnold Schwarzenegger's character as kind of a successful mattress salesman, I think. So when it comes down to it, no matter where you are in your life, it all ends up being the same thing about trying not to disappoint your children. But instead of just being there for them, it's about toys. And this movie, it tries to kind of have its cake and eat it too, because at the end of the movie, he's just like, I just love you, Dad. I just want to be with you. And it's like, nah, dude. You feel this way because he's Turbo Man right now. You hated him like 10 minutes before. There's a lot of fun stuff in the movie. I think Sinbad's actually pretty fun in the movie. Phil Hartman, the great Phil Hartman, rest in peace, definitely steals the show for me, in my opinion. He delivers this great, smarmy, sleazy, gross single dad performance where he's like almost trying to sexually assault Rita Wilson, who plays Arnold's wife, at some point in the movie, and she saves herself by throwing eggnog in his face. Oh yeah. Very wholesome. Just the kind of movie that you want to get together with the kids, the wife, with the grandparents, bring everybody over. I'll watch some goddamn Jingle All the Way. I love like how kind of bad Arnold is in this movie. You know, I don't know why people think Arnold should be in comedies. I mean, he can work in a comedy if utilized correctly. And I think there was a sense that he's like trying to be kind of like the straight man in this movie. But he is hamming it up. He's really, really hamming it up in this movie. And it's endearing. it's so bad that it becomes an endearing performance, and you're like, I got you, buddy. I want you to find success. Going through a lot of trouble right now. Probably the best sequence in the movie, in my opinion, is there's this kind of, they go to the mall, and there's like a lottery for Turbo Man dolls. You have to get this ball, and then everybody just starts going fucking crazy and fighting each other and trying to get this ball, and this little girl gets it. And he tries to get it from the little girl. She like puts it in her mouth, and then everybody calls Arnold a pedophile. I mean, it's just things like that. Just really bring the holiday spirit into my soul. I'm filled up with it, filled with this joy, while Arnold's being accused of being a pedophile, and people are attacking him and beating on him. You know? As is tradition for the holiday season. Yeah, it's such a... And then, like, it has all the stuff with Sinbad, which is kind of like a dark, sad character and a dark, sad story about him being a deadbeat dad, kind of a loser. And he feels like getting a Turbo Man doll is the only thing. And he tells a story about how he wanted this other toy. This, like, Johnny... What is it? Like, Action Johnny number 5, like, super utility machine gun or something toy. Can't remember exactly, which is crazy because I've seen this movie like 20 times, so I can't believe I don't remember that. But let me tell you something. Folks. It's very dark, and then you find out he's kind of like a unhinged postal worker running around with explosives in his bag, unbeknownst to him. Allegedly, he says, "Oh, I didn't know that's what was happening." Yeah, it's a very weird movie. It's so weird that you can't help. At least I can't. I don't know if you can, but I can't help kind of like it. Kind of enjoy it on some very ironic level. But I don't know. I've watched this since I was a kid. You know, my family, big like Arnold Schwarzenegger stans in the modern parlance, and this has just been something that's just we've watched ever since it came out. So what is it? Came out in 1996, and it's never left my Christmas rotation. I think I've watched it every year since then, and then probably a few times just randomly in my life. The director, Brian Levant, a man who probably needs some introduction. Whoa. What else? He's the other big thing that he did was the Flintstones. That's what he did right before this, which is another one of these weird like family kind of kids movies that's really not at all made for kids. Which, in fairness to Brian, to Mr. Levant, like neither is the show. If you go watch the old cartoon, pretty adult orientated in a certain respect. Not that it's explicit, but the themes are kind of more adult. And the movie kind of matches that a little bit, but it probably goes slightly too far because it's a goofy Flintstones live action movie. I've always kind of had a soft spot for that movie. It's one of these kind of very pleasantly mediocre movies that I enjoy. Before this, he did Problem Child 2 and Beethoven. That was another big hit. Remember Beethoven? He did the sequel to the Flintstones and Viva Rock Vegas, which I think is arguably probably the better Flintstone movie. And then he's done a bunch of kids movies since then. Snow Dogs, Are We There Yet? The Spy Next Door, which I think is Jackie Chan in it. Christmas Story 2, how dare you? And looks like he's had announced the reboot of the Police Academy series. So this guy's found steady work. He must be, I bet he's a nice dude. That's probably what it is. He's just a nice guy. People like working with him. That would be my assumption. Who can say, though? Who can say? But yeah. Check out Jingle All the Way if you hadn't before. I think you're going to find that's actually pretty fun. It's a pretty fun and entertaining movie, even when it doesn't mean to be. Which is most of the time. But who says we can't, this is our gift. This is our gift to previously 20th Century Fox. Why isn't this on? Is this on Disney Plus? They have this in their catalog. Are they hiding it from us? See, I had to go out last year and I had to get get the DVD copy of it before they go out of print. 20th Century Fox will be no more pretty soon. You see that label, you see that 20th Century Fox label, make sure you go out and grab it. Might be the only chance you got. You might not have a choice. You might never, they might bury this movie, guys. Or they'll put it on Disney Plus and fucking edit it. Because I know the TV version, they edited a few lines. So, some of those sweet Sinbad improvs. So who knows? Go out, get yourself a copy. Go to the store right now. Rush. Fast as you can. eBay. Amazon. Local mom and pop store. Put on your mask. Do whatever you got to do. Go get yourself a copy of Jingle All the Way. The Christmas gods demand it. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you'd like to know more about Zoobox, there's a bunch of links in the description for Facebook, for Instagram, for my Twitter, for Dan's Twitter. There's also our email address. So during this Christmas season, if you'd like to drop us a Christmas note, we'll read the letter. We will read the letter on the Christmas show this year. It'll be like, tell us what you would like most for Christmas. And we will read the letter and probably laugh at you. And also, if you'd like to make a recommendation for one of these semi-daily videos or something for the big show, Zoobox Goes to the Movies, throw it in the comments. Also, if you've seen Jingle All the Way, do you like Jingle All the Way? Is it something that you revisit in the same way that I do? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it in the comments. All right, everybody. You have the best one ever.